Hello folks, this is Untitled Chapter from InspiredToRise.com, and today we have the awesome presentation by Mayank Wadhwa, the co-founder of Passafly.com, on regarding Indian startups and everything about Indian startups. So the curious case of Indian startups is the presentation and the differences between failure and success. What leads to failure or success in an Indian startup? So this is a very credible question, that why Indian startups fail. Why do Indian startups fail, and why are Indian startups unable to gain a lot of traction while their counterparts in the other parts of world are really gaining a lot of traction? Why is it so? So it is always because of the fact that Indian families never support their children in any startup. It's because of the fact that the entrepreneurial culture is a very different kind of stuff for most of the families, because it's a culture shock for them. They are grown and bred on the 9 to 5 routine, and they can't handle most of the stuff related to the startups and entrepreneurship. Improper government policy in terms of funding and taxation, because of the fact that the government here is not as supportive as outside in the Silicon Valley or other places in the world or the Scandinavian countries. So there is no imperative good government policy which helps in terms of funding or taxation and helps entrepreneurs to grow better, and lack of proper mentors and channels to reach them. As Mayank Wadhwa aptly said while presenting his presentation, that in the Indian startup scene, you find that the one who's mentoring you is your competition the next day. So that's one of the really bad things, and that's one of the really bad things, that the mentor itself becomes the competitor. So lack of proper mentors and channels to reach them is a really bad thing which makes Indian startups fail. And 5 mistakes that kill startups are having a only single founder. A single founder can't do all of the job. So having just a single founder and a single person team is always liable to failure. Having no specific user in mind. If you do not have any user in mind, you will never succeed, because you have to define your target audience first. Not wanting to get your hands dirty. If you are not willing to get job done, if you're not willing to sacrifice some of your sleep, some of your pleasure lifestyle, then you can't get a good startup up and running. Half-hearted effort. If you are just making a half-hearted effort, and if you think that your startup would succeed, that's one of the biggest illusions that you have. Fights between founders. Fights between founders often lead to killing up of many great startups. So how an Indian startup can succeed? How can an Indian startup succeed in such a crazy environment? Things that can be done to change the scenario are to implement a proper government policy. We can only hope that the current regime would change its policy and stance on entrepreneurship and freelancing, and help the budding entrepreneurs get better in terms of overall funding and everything. And right channels for reaching out to mentors and investor networks. So by setting up the right channels and initiatives like 10,000 startups by NASCOM and many other initiatives, it can be easily the whole process of making a startup and getting funding and everything can be easily done and can be more simplified than before. And as Ratan Tata once said, I don't believe in taking right decisions, I take decisions and then make them right. So that was the whole essence of the presentation by Mayank Wadhwa. We will upload the original video soon enough. So this is Aitana Jha from InspiredToRise.com. Till then, keep visiting InspiredToRise.com, folks. Stay inspired to rise.